The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Admiral Zethrix of the Corvin fleet displayed the tactical readouts on the central hologram. 300 ships lost, an entire sector fallen. The human colony of New Terra had been their last hope, and now it too was under siege by the relentless Void Swarm. The situation is hopeless. Zethrix's mandibles clicked in the Corvin equivalent of a sigh. Our defensive strategies have failed. Perhaps it is time to consider evacuation protocols for the remaining colonies. Ambassador Chen Wei, the sole human representative on the council, remained motionless in her chair. The other species had learned not to mistake her silence for resignation. Humans, they had discovered, processed defeat differently than the rest of the galaxy. Admiral, Chen's voice cut through the chamber like a blade. What's the current status of the human garrison on New Terra? Zethrix's four eyes blinked in confusion. Ambassador, with respect, the human contingent was minimal. Perhaps 3,000 soldiers against a swarm numbering in the millions. They are certainly brave, but they're still fighting. It wasn't a question. Chen stood slowly, her movements predatory in a way that made the assembled aliens shift uncomfortably. The Corvins were a warrior race, bred for battle across millennia. The crystalline Zephyrite could calculate battlefield probabilities faster than quantum computers. The gas-form ethereals could phase through matter itself. Yet something about the human ambassador's posture triggered ancient prey instincts across multiple evolutionary trees. "Show me the battlefield feed," Chen commanded. The hologram shifted, displaying the surface of New Terra. What the council saw defied their understanding of military logic. The human defenders hadn't retreated to prepared positions. They hadn't formed defensive lines. Instead, they had done something that no galactic military academy had ever taught as viable strategy. They had gone on the offensive. Captain Marcus Rodriguez crouched behind the wreckage of a swarm bioship, his rifle counting down from 87 rounds to 86. Around him, his squad moved like ghosts through the alien landscape, each human a perfect amalgamation of predator and prey, hunter and survivor. "Contact, 2 o'clock. Whispered Sergeant Kim through the comm. "Swarm Scouts, designation Skitterer, count 6. Rodriguez didn't need to look. His brain was already processing the information, calculating angles, timing, probability cascades. This was what the other species didn't understand about humans. They thought in terms of survival. Humans thought in terms of victory. Zhang Morrison, flank left. Kim, Thompson, holding pattern. Jenkins, you're with me, straight through. The swarm entities were 8 feet of chitinous nightmare, bred for rapid reproduction and overwhelming numbers. Their tactics had conquered 17 star systems because they understood fear, and every species they had encountered possessed it. Every species except one. Rodriguez exploded from cover, his rifle speaking in controlled bursts. The first skitterer dropped before its sensory organs could register the threat. The second turned toward him just as Jenkins appeared from the right, combat knife finding the gap between armor plates with surgical precision. What followed wasn't a battle, it was a demonstration. The humans moved through the swarm scouts like water through stone, each action flowing into the next with terrible efficiency. No wasted motion. No hesitation, no fear. The aliens watching from orbit saw only chaos, but Chen saw the pattern. "Computer, analyze human squad movement patterns over the last 6 hours. The tactical display shifted, showing movement vectors, engagement statistics, and territorial gain. The council members fell silent as the data revealed an impossible truth. The humans weren't just holding ground. They were winning. "How?" Zethrix whispered. "Their numbers are irrelevant. Their weapons are inferior to our technology. Their armor is basic composite. How are they succeeding where our finest warriors failed?" Chen smiled, and several council members instinctively stepped back from the gesture. "Because you're fighting not to lose. We're fighting to win. There's a difference." On the surface, Rodriguez's team had linked up with 2 other squads. 18 humans now moved as a single organism through swarm territory. They had abandoned every conventional military doctrine the galaxy knew. No supply lines, no fallback positions, no extraction plans. "Sir," Jenkins panted as they regrouped behind a natural rock formation. "We're 15 clicks behind enemy lines. Communications are spotty. We've got no support, no air cover, and we're running low on everything except bad ideas." Rodriguez grinned, the expression somehow more terrifying than reassuring. "Jenkins, You know what the difference is between humans and every other species in this galaxy? Sir, they evolved on planets with apex predators. We evolved to be the apex predator. The next phase began at dawn. Rodriguez's enlarged force of 60 humans had done something unprecedented. They had turned a defensive action into a hunting expedition. Using captured swarm biotech, they had tracked the creature's hive mind communication nodes. While the swarm's millions focused on the decoy positions around the colony, the humans had identified and infiltrated the command structure. The galaxy's military strategists had spent centuries developing complex battle algorithms, calculating optimal force distributions and acceptable loss ratios. Humans had developed something more primitive and infinitely more dangerous, the ability to ignore those calculations entirely. Ambassador, Zethric said, watching the impossible unfold on the tactical display. Your people are not retreating. They are not requesting reinforcement. What exactly are they doing? Chen's eyes never left the display as human forces penetrated deeper into swarm territory, moving with the fluid precision of Earth's ancient pack hunters. They're doing what humans have always done when someone threatens what we protect. Which is? They're making the swarm regret that decision. The final engagement lasted 37 minutes. When the swarm's command nodes fell, the entire invasion force collapsed like a neural network with its spine severed. 3,000 humans had accomplished what 300,000 alien soldiers could not. As rescue ships arrived to evacuate the colony, Rodriguez stood among the swarm wreckage, his rifle empty, his armor scarred, his team intact. Around him, the impossible had become inevitable. The galaxy learned something that day. Survival was just the beginning for humans. Victory was where they lived. Chen closed the tactical display and faced the council. Gentlemen, ladies, and distinguished entities, you asked how. The answer is simple. You build armies to survive battles. We were built to win them. Word count 1,000.